Fear is one of the first emotions human beings learn. Before we learn faith, before we learn patience, before we learn courage, fear shows up early and it stays persistent. Fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of the future, fear of what people think, fear of what might happen if God does not come through. And yet, throughout the entire Bible, God repeats one command more than any other. Do not fear. Not once, not twice, but again and again. Not because fear is imaginary, not because danger is unreal, but because fear was never meant to rule the life of God's people. This is not a motivational idea. This is not positive thinking. This is a divine command backed by divine promises. Every time God says, "Do not fear," He gives a reason. Fear and the voice of God. One of the clearest encounters between fear and God's reassurance appears in Genesis 15. Abram had obeyed God. He left his homeland. He followed God's instruction. He had just defeated powerful kings in battle, and yet fear still found him. Genesis 15:1 says, "After these things, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision, saying, 'Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your exceedingly great reward.'" God did not say, "Do not fear because nothing bad will happen." He said, "Do not fear because I am your shield." Fear often comes after obedience. Fear often comes after progress. Fear often comes when the journey is already underway. Abram was not afraid because he disobeyed. He was afraid because he was exposed. And God answered fear not with explanations, but with His presence. I am your shield. Not your strength, not your plan, not your resources. I am. Fear at the edge of impossibility. In Exodus 14, Israel stands trapped. Behind them is Pharaoh's army. Before them is the Red Sea. On both sides is panic. The people cry out in fear and accuse Moses of leading them to die. But Moses answers with a declaration that still speaks today. Exodus 14:13-14 says, "Do not be afraid. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which He will accomplish for you today. The Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace." Fear says, "Run." God says, "Stand." Fear says, "You are trapped." God says, "Watch." Fear says, "This is the end." God says, "This is the beginning." God did not part the sea until fear was confronted. God often removes fear before He removes the obstacle. Faith is not formed when the sea is already open. Faith is formed when you are standing at the edge of it. When fear distorts reality, in Numbers 13, 12 spies enter the promised land. 10 return afraid, 2 return trusting. The fearful report spreads faster. Numbers 13:31 says, "We are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we." Fear magnified the enemy and minimized God. But Caleb responded in Numbers 13:30, "Let us go up at once and take possession, for we are well able to overcome it." Same land, same giants, same facts, different focus. Fear looks at God through the problem. Faith looks at the problem through God. Fear is contagious when left unchecked. That entire generation died in the wilderness, not because the promise failed, but because fear ruled their decisions. Fear does not mean failure. Fear is often misunderstood. Feeling fear does not mean you lack faith. Allowing fear to control you is the problem. Joshua felt fear. He replaced Moses. He led a nation. He faced fortified cities. And God spoke directly to him. Joshua 1:9 says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." God did not deny the difficulty. He did not pretend Joshua felt confident. He gave a command and a promise, "I am with you." The presence of God is the antidote to fear. Fear in dark seasons. David understood fear. Before the throne, before honor, before security. Yet he declared in Psalm 23:4, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." David did not deny the valley. He refused to let fear rule inside it. Faith does not mean avoiding darkness. Faith means trusting God inside it. When fear comes at night, fear grows louder in silence. It strengthens in isolation. It attacks when answers are delayed. Psalm 56, 3-4 says, "Whenever I am afraid, I will trust in you. In God I have put my trust, I will not fear. What can flesh do to me?" David did not say, "If I am afraid," he said, "When." Fear may appear, but trust answers it. Angels and the command not to fear. Whenever angels appear in Scripture, the message is the same. Do not be afraid. Luke 1:30 says to Mary, "Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God." Luke 2:10 says to the shepherds, "Do not be afraid, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy." Divine encounters disrupt comfort. Calling disrupts routine. Purpose challenges safety. Fear often appears before destiny. Jesus and fear. Jesus confronted fear directly. Matthew 10:28 says, "Do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul." Fear loses power when eternity is remembered. When the disciples feared the storm, Jesus said in Mark 4:40, "Why are you so fearful? How is it that you have no faith?" Fear and faith compete for the same space. The final word, 2 Timothy 1:7 declares, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Fear does not come from God. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right."